Firstly, everybody, happy Thursday, and maybe we'll kick it off now. So, everybody, this podcast is dedicated to learning about a certain aspect of women's health related to mental illness. And we're very fortunate to have the CEO of a company that's at the forefront of this tremendous unmet need. And we'll get into it in a moment.
So thank you, Mark. Again, what a time to be talking about women's health and women's emotional health. There are two solutions that we have on market today. One is for pregnancy and postpartum, so supporting women during their pregnancy journey for emotional and a behavioral aspect, specifically focused on postpartum depression, but it starts during the pregnancy. 20% of the women, one in four or five suffer from postpartum depression. When you look at the entire emotional aspect, actually the numbers go as much as 40% of the pregnant women need some kind of help. It's not just unmet need, but there is a huge cost driver as well. And when you think about women in workforce, which is a big thing when we talk about women getting leadership position, it's number one cause of anxiety for women returning to work. Our second product around fertility/infertility, the women or the couples who are going through their infertility or fertility journey, as we like to call it, number one reason after financial for any couple dropping off from a fertility journey is actually emotional and behavioral aspect. So these are two very big life stages of women that we are covering today, and we have plans to cover more, which we'll talk about. So again, what you see on the right side of the screen is actually our vision. Our vision is to go across women's life cycle, all the way from adolescent, reproductive stage, pregnancy, postpartum, menopause, perimenopause, and healthy aging. I already talked about the two areas. So number 2 and 3 quadrant are what we are focusing on today, and we have plans to go across other areas as well. We are very fortunate, what you see on the bottom of your screen, to have some amazing research partners as well as commercial partners. So Columbia University, Dr. Catherine Monk is one of our advisors. We have been working very deeply with her. University of Cumbria, so we also have international experts who we are working with. Mount Sinai actually are our early adopter, and not just early adopter, they actually have a small equity in the company as well. So they invested in the company as well because they believed in the unmet need.
Okay, next slide. Okay, so it's always good to have a source and use of funds. This is the world I've come from, the way I've been trained. So basically, Curio is doing their A round financing. They're doing it at what's called a pre-money valuation of $35 million. And the target fundraise of this A round is $8.25 million, of which they've already received commitments for roughly 5.75, let's call it 6 million, just talk around numbers. And this is before the seed round, which Shailja did mention briefly, but the seed round raised about 2.25 million. So net between the seed round and the A round, they'll have raised over $10 million of outside capital.
Yes, so I think we talked about a lot of these things, but I hope I'm able to first of all convey the urgency and the unmet need. With that comes opportunity around women's health and women's mental health. So that's the first thing I would say. The second thing is, while we talk about unmet need, we have a huge responsibility to bring the right kind of technology. So our technology is FDA audit ready. That's really, really important for any application or software as a medical device that's out there. We are not an app. At surface, it looks like a user interface. So that's really important. The second we were just talking about is clinically meaningful and statistically significant results. So the data is there. We don't release anything without making sure that there's a lot of clinical data to support that. And third is, I think this question was also asked, and very, very important question. While these two things are important, equally important is user engagement or patient engagement. So we have augmented reality, we have some nudging architecture, gamification that actually invites a patient throughout this journey.
So if you want to reach out to us, here's our contact information, and we will send out a video link to this session, and we'll include on there the product demo that we mentioned, as well as Shailja's website, where you can learn all about this business and what she's doing.